what I learned was that there are monkey attacks happening all over the world.
It's everywhere. There's a
All over the world.
proliferation of angry monkeys. Like, there's no telling whether or not, if you go out to check your mail right now, that a monkey won't attempt to take you out.
A monkey got your Amazon, like, you got to sign for it. You know what I'm saying?
You might, no, they still packages. I saw some footage of a monkey trying to steal somebody's laptop. So I'm just trying to figure out, yes, I can show you that. Are these monkeys, are they being trained? Are they a bit like child soldiers? And they're here to take on behalf of their leader? Like, is there like a general butt naked that's like...
Yeah, is there Caesar? Is there Caesar waiting?
Yeah. What's happening? So, or are the monkeys just fed up? I mean, we forget that all animals, like even like on a level of like spiders, are sentient beings.
Yeah. No, they are fed up. Like, I would be too. I would be too. You know? Like, my dog was just trying to get the salad that I made on the counter. I was like, yo, you don't even eat salad, my nigga. Like, why?
It's so absolutely true. Because dogs just think everybody's their friend. So a lot of these monkey attacks are monkeys attacking like the type of like people, which would be children, or animals that are very curious and maybe even loving initially without any kind of context. So there's dogs that are running up to monkeys or trying to play, and the monkeys are like beheading them.
Monkeys is like, sell out.
Like, you allowed yourself to get domesticated out here. But then with the children, the monkey attacks are, you're seeing a lot of these children getting snatched up and kidnapped from the villages.
Yo, the clip you sent me, sent me with the, first of all, why was that baby on a ladder? What was the situation where you needed the baby on the ladder?
Well, I know we've talked about this, but child labor laws look very differently, like in other places. So I know we don't know, the complete intimate details of what happens elsewhere, but the baby might have had purpose. Because
I feel like it was
the baby was on the ladder working, and when the monkey came to attack, the parents abandoned the baby.
The baby was working an overtime shift. Yo, so many things about that clip.
Or were they supervisors?
Yo, here's the thing: the supervisors ran off. Like, the first 3 seconds, the baby's about to get snatched. The 2 supervisors ran off. The 2 contractors. The baby's the subcontractor.
Right.
They darted.
The only reason why they came back to save the baby is because they didn't want that baby to account for the time, because they would have still been getting paid while they were getting
right. So and they would have to pay workman's comp.
You see, you get me. So I don't believe any of that was coming from a place of love or concern or humanity. Not at all.
Yo, but there's an AP story about a specific village in Japan where the monkeys are doing sneak attacks. Like, they're sneaking up on people. Like, the report from the AP says, and I quote, "The monkeys aren't interested in food, so traps haven't worked. They have targeted mostly children and the elderly." What does that say to you about what these monkeys is up to, man?
You gotta be a mean ass, spiteful, vengeful, violent motherfucker to attack children and the elderly.
And the elderly,
You have no code whatsoever. Or, in addition to you having no code, you also know that that's what's going to really, really impact the, the non-geriatric and youth population.
Yo,
once you start messing with the old folk, like Granny and like the babies, people can't just
even gangsters don't do that. You know what I mean? Exactly. There's gangsters who's like, yo, I don't fuck with kids. I don't kill the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had whole serial killers trying to sell us on a code with murder.
Yo,
and the monkeys are like, nah, this is who we want.
The monkey saw what the elephants was up to, and they were like, yeah, we get you.
But see, this is the thing with elephants too. So elephants, we know, are intelligent beings, and elephants very specifically have very, very long memories. Very long memories. Elephants are not really prone to attack humans unless humans have done something to them. So like when you've seen things where like mothers have been killed and poached for their ivory, things like that, that elephant even 20 years later will come and, attack poachers because they know what happened. So yeah, elephants are very different in that way. Like people can coexist with them, but the elephants attack at random. I don't really buy that. So the fact that this woman, that they stomp out and destroy this village when the woman was dead and buried and put in the ground, they exhumed the body and re-kill her. You know, I'm just like, what did she do at this point? And it's like, you know, maybe I don't even feel like I'm being insensitive. It's not victim blaming because she's already dead. So, but the fact that somebody would stomp at your funeral, like, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh man.
And I've seen poor behaviors at funerals. Like, I've been to one of those funerals that could definitely be a skit on a television show, but I ain't never seen nothing where like the animals all got together and shit, like, and just, you know, started like whipping their snouts and taking people out.
What do you think was the funeral party's reaction? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think was their first
I think they probably initially were probably thinking, well, first of all, there's got to be something to why that again, those elephants took it that way. So they probably knew like what she was on, like they knew her job. Oh well, you know, she's the one that be paying the poachers or be getting paid by the poachers.
They had an
bring
idea.
them into the village. So they had an idea. So they knew she was the trafficker in a sense.
Yeah, there was like elephants be on that never forget. So she probably had it coming. You know what I mean? Like
So she knew. She knew what they knew who she was, and I think if you put two and two together, I think that story is not hard to find or to understand in terms of like why that happened to her specifically.
I mean,
for a second.
So do you think it's just the monkeys and the elephants is an uprising beginning? Is like, what's the next animal group we can expect to be on this type of like sneak attack shit?
Well, there've been a lot of, we've always heard of dog attacks, but there's been an uptick in dog attacks lately too. Like I've been seeing a lot of situations where like, I just saw a story and I don't have the specifics on it where a woman passed away. So her mother took in her dogs to take care of them. They were dogs she was familiar with and the dogs mauled her to death. So it's like she's the caregiver, and dogs, like I said, it's kind of weird. Dogs aren't those kinds of animals, unless they're trained to be violent.
It's time.
It's time. So I think we need to have a conversation, some sort of a town hall with the animals. I consider myself a whisperer. Many years ago, absolutely. When I was I was bringing a lot of eyes onto the SeaWorld crisis because what they were doing, which I'm so glad they started, they stopped doing the orca shows. But these orcas were depressed. They were clinically depressed. They were putting them on Valium. So you could see them doing some more little.
Orcas, another highly intelligent animal.
And it knows, and it's like you take such a huge apex predator and essentially put it in a bathtub. Like, what are we doing? Right? Or even like you probably couldn't even pay me to go to a zoo right now because I know what's happening. It's gonna come. Some of these animals have been escaping cages. People jumping down into the cages because they just, I don't know what they're trying to do. Rip Harambe. It's just too much going on.
Yo, you think it's a coincidence they slapping that glass when you come, bro? Like,
exactly. You think it's cute? You think that they remember the high five from yesterday? Now they try to tell you what's about to happen, and they're trying to get that final blow. Because like even with like shattering glass or certain things, like they seem impenetrable. But like when you read the fine print, it's like on the 900th slap, the shit will shatter. So that's what they're doing. They read the fine print.
It's just like chipping away. Oh man, it's like the prisoners with the spoon. Like
exactly. And then one day,
the tunnel. I mean, I think we have it coming, right? As much as it's really scary for me to say this, a virus is a living thing, like. So if we being real about what's going on around us, it's like I feel like Mother Nature's trying to be like, it's y'all. I wanted to like spin it another way, but it's definitely y'all.
Yeah, I mean, because we went just now from COVID being a huge issue, then from COVID to this barrage of booster shots. So whatever round a person is on, like your arm probably tatted up crazy. Now we're in monkeypox, where this is where we are now in the timeline and in the season, and the interesting thing about that, because when you say it's y'all, by many indications, monkeypox more than COVID, it seems, has the people are getting it from levels of intimacy. So it's like really people stay away from each other, get away from here, go hide out. We don't want to see you anymore.
Right. But it's also a respiratory disease. So I want to make sure that people like this is one thing I want to do in the COVID era, not spread misinformation. So even though it is shared by like skin to skin contact, and that's like a main way that it gets around.
But they were even saying like shirts, like somebody could touch your t-shirt and the person would get yeah,
exactly, like OG COVID.